the senior political, scientist, Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochoe, also aide to Brian Achampong. He's one of the names that have come up, declared the interest of leading the biggest opposition party, MPP, as they go for the competition. Also, Kennedy Ejapong campaign team member Kwesi Kwarteng will speak with us later on in the show. But Harriet Adi is with us to also bring us the breakdown of stories that the new team has gathered. Harry, you're welcome. Happy Friday.
Thank you, Annie. Yeah, happy Friday. I can't wait to go home to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, take us away.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the headlines for the news update today. Flag-bearer aspirants of the New Patriotic Party set to ballot their positions today, Friday, October 10, 2025, ahead of the party's presidential primary scheduled for January 31, 2026. We'll bring you live updates. Traffic congestion at the main Ashaman Town intersection improves after authorities repaired a large hole under the traffic lights, which previously caused frequent flooding and traffic jams during the rain. Presidential spokesperson and Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, says government is taking steps to improve remuneration and living conditions of media practitioners in the country. There's a many more coming up shortly. Welcome now to a first story. The presidential spokesperson and Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, says government is taking steps to improve remuneration and living conditions of media practitioners in the country in order to effectively help them carry out their mandate and deepen good governance. He spoke at the media launch of the 29th Ghana Journalist Award, which is scheduled to take place in the Ashanti region.
In the last 6 weeks to 2 months, if you recall, President Mahama had occasion to engage with the leadership of the Ghana Journalists Association, at which meeting issues of concern to journalists were raised. About a month or two ago, he also held a media encounter where all shades of opinion within the media fraternity were represented. He opened himself up to scrutiny, questions were directed at him, and to the best of his ability, he answered these questions. This is the mark of a leader who believes in transparency. So he continues to urge you to hold his feet to the fire of accountability. Subject him to scrutiny, even rigorous scrutiny, even harsh scrutiny. But please ensure that you do this within the boundaries of the law so that collectively we do not endanger our own security. We do know that the media landscape is also challenged. The operations of various media houses are hindered by financial and economic constraints. We do know that media practitioners complain often about poor remuneration and poor working conditions. Government will continue to partner media organizations to explore ways of improving these conditions. In recent times too, we've had challenges with assaults on media practitioners. There are sections of our society who continue to view the media as nosy and people who should not get close to their activities, and therefore I want to abuse the rights of media practitioners. Thankfully, in more recent times, we've not heard of such reports. That is because firm instructions have been issued to all state security agencies to reform the way in which they relate to the media and to show a bit more courtesy than they are doing at the moment.
Same event, President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Albert Kwabena Dumfor, has charged media practitioners to intensify the fight against illegal mining in the country.
Peace and security, the cornerstones of our national stability, are tested daily by the forces of division, extremism, and disinformation. It is within this context that the media must rise, firm, fearless, and fair, as custodians of truth and conscience. We must document the destruction of our environment not merely as news, but as a national emergency. Hold those in authority accountable, yet remain partners in national or in nation building. This theme challenges us to move beyond headlines to impact, to ensure that every word we publish and every image we broadcast contributes to peace, justice, and environmental sustainability. Inauguration of the Awards Committee. The credibility of the GJA Media Awards rests on the integrity and journalism of its Awards Committee. I am therefore pleased to inaugurate a distinguished team of media professionals, chaired by our very own veteran Gabriel Bosompem, former member of the National Media Commission and former production manager of TV3.
And presidential spokesperson and Minister for Government Communication and Member for Parliament for Ibura Sebu, Kwamankese Felix Kwatiofosu, has explained what His Excellency President Mahama meant by using AI to fight illegal mining, emphasizing that no appointee of President Mahama will get away if involved in illegal mining. Journalist and former board chair of Ghana Airports Company Limited, Paul Adomotri, added that only the party in government can fight illegal mining now. They spoke on Good Morning Ghana. And away from that, 4 years vehicular traffic congestion around the main intersection into Ashaman Town has been a major headache for drivers, especially whenever it rains. This is due to a big hole under the Ashaman traffic light. But the situation has now improved. Comfort Kunedu Usuansa has more in this report.
I'm currently here at Ashama traffic. Those who use the Ashama route and them who pass Ashama traffic very well will know the situation at hand at first. But now the road has been fixed and there is free flow of cars. Despite the road being fixed at the traffic over here, and then when you're coming from Kaketo going to under bridge, the road is very free. But despite that, when you're using the Lebanon going to Newton Junction, the road over there has not been fixed, and drivers over there are also crying for help.
Recent your message pavement, Ashama traffic.
The MCE has done really well within a short period in office, and we are grateful to him for fixing the road because it was in a bad shape and was causing so much traffic. The traders also took over the road, but since the MCE fixed the road, it has eased the traffic.
With the pavement bound, a boy to the fence.
The road construction done has really helped in a way. We now have a good place to drop and pick passengers. The traffic flow has become easy now, such that the police do not worry us again.
Previously, as you rightly said, the roads around, the Ashama traffic light was very, very bad. And I can describe it. I won't even say there were potholes, there were manholes, all around. When you get to the traffic, sometimes before turning will be a problem. And drivers used to complain. Sometimes some vehicles will break down under the traffic light. Even when you drive towards the Ajekujo underbridge, when you get to the Presby Junction, that area too was another problem. When you go to the Municipal Assembly Junction, that area too was very, very bad. Not forgotten the Kaketo Mandela Park Junction, that place too was very, very bad. But from early this year, when the Honorable Chekpo took office, we find out that they started working on it. And as you can see, the state now, it's far, 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 far better than before. Currently, all drivers that applies Ashaiman, Lebanon, Zenu Road are complaining bitterly. When you leave the market towards Bakufla to Lebanon down to Zenu is very, very, very bad.
I'm Comfort Kunedu Oswansa, reporting for Metro News.
The Minister of Transport, Dorcas Afo-Tofe, has announced that the inaugural Ghana Transport and Logistics Fair, organized by the Ministry of Transport, aims to educate the public about the transport sector while providing a platform for local manufacturers to exhibit their products. She made this known during a tour of various transport manufacturing companies on Wednesday, October 8.
So, on this note, I want to take the opportunity to invite everybody. I want to invite all Ghanaians to come around on that day, the 22nd, to partake in this major event that we are organizing. I mean, this is very personal to me because, I mean, I came at the right time when I call ourselves the last babies of His Excellency's appointment, because we're the last 4. And so when I came, my first program that I had was about this. So I decided to be part of it and to take it like my own. And it's my baby. So I'm inviting everybody to come on board. Let's showcase what Ghana has. We have helicopter coming to give people a ride, for people to have a feel, because people have seen it from far and all that, but they have not actually sat in one. And so there will be a helicopter ride. We have buses, the train, and all that. When we talk about transport, we have everything will be there. So we want everybody to come on board so that they will actually see what transport is all about. It's not just a car. When we talk about transport, people think it's a car that moves from one place to the other, but it's bigger than that. So we have the ships, we have the helicopter or the plane, and we have the buses, we have the train, all that. So we want everybody to come on board and have a feel. Thank you.
Fantastic.
And away from that, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency has shut down 17 health facilities across Ghana for operating without valid licenses. Now, the closure are part of a nationwide enforcement exercise to ensure all health institutions, public and private, comply with the Health Institutions and Facilities Act 2011, Act 829.
Some of the facilities closed were found to have licenses that had expired several years ago, in some cases up to 10 years, yet continued operations. Inspections also revealed that many of the affected facilities had poor infrastructure or substandard conditions. The Health Facilities Regulatory Agency emphasized that it will not tolerate non-compliance regardless of whether the facility is privately or public owned. Owners of unlicensed facilities have been warned that they risk fines, legal actions, or imprisonment under Act 829, which mandates licensing, registration, and compliance with standards. HEFRA also appealed to the public to patronize only licensed health facilities and report any facilities operating without licenses.
Let's go to the Volta region, where the management of the Keta Municipal Hospital in the Keta municipality is calling on the government, especially the Ministry of Health, to upgrade the facility from a primary health care center to a fully fledged secondary health care facility. According to management, the hospital has become a major referral point within the municipality, surrounding districts, and even neighboring countries. Hence, the urgent need for a total renovation of its old infrastructure and replacement of aging equipment. Gabriel Asempa reports.
Keta Municipal Hospital is the first government hospital in southern Volta. Established in 1926 at Fort Prestian, it was relocated to its current site at Shalukopa in 1935 due to sea erosion. From its mother's beginning, providing basic clinical care, maternal and child health service, communicable diseases control, and environmental health, the hospital has evolved into the main referral facility in the municipality. Over the years, the hospital has expanded its service to include general medical and surgical service, reproductive and child health, dental and ENT service, psychiatric and mental health, emergency care, pharmacy, laboratory, radiology and ultrasound service, renal dialysis, ICU service, reconstructive skin grafting service. Despite these achievements, the facility continues to operate under aged infrastructure.
As we celebrate this milestone, we must confront our challenges: aging and inadequate equipment, old infrastructure, inadequate staff residential accommodation, and lack of reliable transportation for operations. It is for this reason that our main objective for the centenary is clear: to upgrade Keta Municipal Hospital from a primary healthcare facility to a fully fledged secondary healthcare facility. This will involve upgrading infrastructure, retooling the hospital, introducing new services such as endoscopy, CT scan, and physiotherapy, building residential accommodation, and improving our human resource base.
Whilst commending the hospital's management for their dedication and achievement, the Volta Regional Director of Health Service, Dr. Emmanuel Achudodo, assured management of his commitment to facilitating the upgrade of the facility.
This launch should serve as a starting point, and it should edge us on to move ahead so that the dream that we have, that this hospital should be a secondary level service provision facility, should be realized. And on behalf of the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, and then the Regional Health Directorate, I congratulate the management of this hospital and the staff for this great milestone that you have achieved. I want to assure my staff and management that whatsoever that I have to do as a Regional Director of Health Service to make sure this dream is realized, I will do.
Vice Chancellor of the University of Health and Allied Sciences encouraged the hospital's management to adapt international collaborations and exchange programs to enhance innovative approach to healthcare delivery.
I'm calling for international collaborations for the hospital. 100 years, it means that people have come here. It means that we have a lot of experiences that other people are looking for to partner with you. In some of the hospitals, there are a lot of organizations now coming to do free blood surgery, free thyroid and all that. That aside, is that collaboration that will take my health professional out there for, let's say, 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Away from that, Minister of Employment and Labour Relations Rashid Pelpo has assured all health workers whose salaries are in arrears that government will pay them before the end of 2025. He spoke in an exclusive interview with Metro News.
Working for it for a considerable while, and we've come to a point when I can now say that we have taken into consideration all of them and will pay them. It is a painful, very difficult thing, but what can we do other than respond to their cry? You know, it is a I don't know whether it's a responsibility or irresponsibility of somebody else, not them. They sat down, finished their universities or finished their schools, and were looking for a job. A government came around and said, I'm going to give you the jobs, but did not make room for them to be paid. And for 1 year, they were running to get a job, some 6 months before the government exited. And then a new government has come. And the cry, because government is an organic whole, and you know, in such a manner as is continuum, they are seeing us to be the ones responsible. And we are also going to show that responsibility. And I'm saying before the end of the year, all of them will be paid. When the government didn't show enough responsibility, because when you are engaging, you should also show that you can pay. You don't engage and expect that a new government coming will come and pay. You should demonstrate it, because some people were working for several months. They were not paid. They were not paid until we came. They didn't pay them. They didn't demonstrate strongly that they had the money to pay until things went the way they came. And again, they also engage people much more than they should have.
Rashid Pelpo also expressed disappointment in the previous administration for not making funds available for the payment of newly enrolled workers. He revealed that 65% of Ghana's annual revenue will be used in paying newly enrolled workers. He is confident government is putting in place measures to mobilize more revenue and create more jobs.
we have 71,000 teachers still waiting to be paid, still waiting to be engaged, to be enrolled. Because we train them.
That's a huge number.
Yeah. And we have 73,000 nurses waiting to be enrolled and to be paid. That's only for 2 agencies, 2 ministries. Now, if you go to local governments, you have them there. You go to civil service, you have them there. Everywhere else, there are jobs that need to be filled. Now, supposing we just take the teachers and the nurses alone and decide to pay them as they are.
That's 144,000 people.
In addition, we are going to spend about 50% of our total revenue to pay just those who are ready for enrollment now. And so when you do that, there's nothing to service debt, very little to service debt, to do construction, to do any other thing that runs the machinery of government. They'll all be at a terrible situation. So it's not a small thing. And if you decide to take the other agencies, the security forces, teachers, nurses, there's that, civil service, public service, all of it put together, you want to put it all together, you are going to spend 65%
of your entire revenue,
of our entire domestic annual revenue in paying less than 1 million workers in Ghana. So what are we going to do to generate enough wealth so we can pay them and still be able to run? So the question is therefore for everybody. We are putting in place required policies that can create jobs, create investment from external and internal and domestic investment, so we can produce more, export more. If we are able to increase the generation of jobs and increase production and export more, I'm sure we can build a good economy.
Follow up on President John Dramani Mahama's statement on the legislation of motorcycles for commercial transportation. Metro TV took to the streets to speak with some of these riders.
From a chairman may declare, say 2024 manifesto, ye dia try to mubium, say ye be legalize Okada. Enti 7th January 2025, say yes, why our Independence Square year, no more say Mofa Hudie and so Abba.
It's true. It's 10 months. It's just a small time for him. And then it has been on process, and I believe what he said, it will come to pass, and Ghanaians will really see how he worked for the Okada people.
Oh, my challenge is the government ni ejitume o ejigalaze o enjuma. Me jitume say ebe boy. Oh, they say the police for no more ISA because mo mbibia mo lances mo road mo mbibia and to stop me. I no answer bejina na man yi akirawo.
Okay, yeah, me say abani promise yes oba obelegalaze ejuma na de amaye. Yes, you chance obelegalaze ejuma na de amaye. But they say a police for na wo no. Omusu de bi omugusu ye de e step motor for. Ye chiwa omusi lances insurance who the chiro omo a chichi na change this one pay sky the achi.
President Mahama, you not try for us. You have to show him power. No. This police, you have to catch your motor. If the person get license, he get a road to insurance. Leave him. That every police station in Ghana here, the police station can take him out now. Say if you get license and roadway insurance, and you leave you, he be Nima police station. After that, no police station where they take that thing. Something like a carnation now. And if you show them a license, you crowd, you kill yourself. Something like Jamestown, something like what do you call it, Kaswa Road. Oh, you solve a lot of problem. So if your president say he come to legalize Okada, you have to think about 2 things before. Though Dan Parikam, he think about 2 things. If he be police motor rider, You can feel catch your Okada. If you cross the red light, you commit the law, they'll catch you. But
away from that, the Adenta Municipal Assembly has unveiled a new priority developmental award scheme aimed at recognizing electoral areas that demonstrate exceptional commitment to maintaining cleanliness and environmental sanitation within the municipality. The municipal chief executive made this known during a cleanup exercise.
The cleanup exercise under the President's monthly nationwide sanitation initiative brought together assembly staff, residents, and community groups who engage in refuse collection, drain desilting, and the cleaning of public spaces across Adentan. Speaking to Metro News, the municipal chief executive, Madam Ella Esinam Nongo, explained that the newly introduced award scheme seeks to motivate communities to take ownership of their surroundings and sustain good sanitation practices across the municipality.
So the Adentan Municipal Assembly has introduced a Priority Development Award scheme to reward electoral areas that demonstrate exceptional commitment in sanitation. This was born out of the President's quest to make sanitation a key performance indicator of every MMDC. So when you come to Adentan, one of our major problems is our road. But today, with the help of the drip machines, we are able to at least do something about it. So we have a rotational timetable where assembly members have days that they are able to use the drip machine to make their roads motorable. The machine is supposed to stay in Kose for 3 days and move to another electoral area like Amanya or Gwentana for another 3 days. But if we realize that, Kose's commitment towards sanitation is very deep, what we would do is, instead of the 3 days that the machine is spending at Kose, the machine could spend 6 or 7 days in Kose.
She also emphasized that the President's Sanitation Initiative complements the Assembly's broader goal of positioning Adenta as one of the cleanest and most environmentally responsible municipalities in the Greater Accra region.
We have 29 districts, and I remember Adentan came out first in the District Sanitation League table in 2020, 2021, and 2022. So, of course, we would want to keep the momentum to make sure Adenta is clean. We always say that it's Adentan and the others. On Saturday, we had all our heads of department. Some of them live as far as in Savom, others live at Ashama and wherever. They all came along to make sure we achieve this goal. So it wasn't just a residential thing, but like I said, it's a communal labor. If you talk about Adentan Municipal Assembly, every staff is part of Adentan
developments. The Assembly.
I said for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana, my name is Harriet Adi Ani. Pardon?
What do you have for this Friday?
Just to go home and sleep.
Sorry?
Just to go home and sleep.
I know you are somebody who cannot sleep easily. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Yes, no. We have, we've been celebrating the customer service week. I'm not sure if you can do anything to show that, well, customer service is actually very much important.
You put me on the spot, but let's see.
You haven't thought about it, right?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it.
Anyway, Harry, thank you for the updates.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll continue with the program as we do some extensive interview on the issues that we have on the table. We'll go into the quarters of the MPP and speak with the spokespersons for some various camps that, are gathering and gearing up for the flag bearership race within the opposition party, MPP. But most importantly, we're also dealing with the issue of customer service, and we are celebrating the week. So companies, one after the other, have been gracing the platform. Today we'll have persons from the Millennium Insurance to also be with us here on the platform to tell us more what they have for you customers as we celebrate the Customers Week. We'll be back shortly.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning! Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim. I love it. Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late? Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You could be the luckiest. Could be from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Me and you could be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your goddamn boom. If you're poor, what's that? So would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey! Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. Let's go into the issue. So I earlier on told you that we've had some conversations about customer service. That's because we're celebrating the Customer Service Week. So we have actually lined up the subsidiaries of the Jospon group of companies on this platform to tell us more about the packages they have for customers and how the relationship has been between the companies and the customers. This afternoon, Friday, of course, we have Millennium Insurance with us, and with us in the studio is Loretta Mensah. She's head business retention unit. Loretta, you're welcome. Good afternoon to you. I always see you, but I actually don't know your position. So, I mean, I can't do much about that unless I introduce you. So you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Also, Franklin Hushi. Is that the name?
Yeah, that's the name.
Oh, I was almost getting it wrongly. Franklin Hushi is Tema branch manager for Millennium Insurance. Tema branch manager for Millennium Insurance, and he's also here with us. Franklin, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
But the name Franklin, why not Franklin?
No, I
thought Franklin was
no,
for female.
Yes, this is Franklin without an E.
Oh, without an E?
Yes, Franklin.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm sorry, then my producers got it wrong.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
Because I saw an E, so I was like, Franklin. So, I beg, don't call him Franklin.
It's fine.
He's Franklin. Yeah. Franklin Husha, you're welcome as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. All right, so, well, Millennium Insurance is actually my insurance company. So,
that's good.
Yes, so I guess with the help of Edem, I've been chilling. I don't know if I am having maybe special treatment because I have a relationship with Edem, or it's just something that all customers have.
So the way you feel, that's how every customer feels.
It's not true. It's not true. It's never true.
That's very true, Annie.
the way you feel, it's because you have a relationship with Millennium. It is because you are Millennium insured. And so the feeling is across board.
Hey.
Yeah.
If you're a Millennium Insurance customer and you're watching, please come and confirm this or deny.
I confirm.
Okay. Okay. All right. So tell us more. We know that your theme actually for this week, you say mission possible. Is that what it is? Mission possible.
Yeah.
What's the mission we're discussing here?
Okay, so you know that for when we say mission possible, it's this year's our theme, and we're saying that every customer need, we should be able to tackle every customer no matter what the challenge is. That's why we go on mission possible. You get it? So every need that a customer may have, we are trying as much as possible to ensure that we can attend to that need. And so there's nothing that's beyond us. So every mission is possible.
Okay.
That's the whole.
Okay.
Yeah. You watch the Mission Impossible?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it. But this.
I mean, I don't know who hasn't watched Mission Impossible. Even the Gen Zs have watched.
I know, right? but this mission is possible.
Okay.
So all your needs you may have, no matter the challenge, whatever it could be, we are able to make it happen.
Okay. Okay. Loretta, what can you add to that?
Mission possible. We try to get our customers, make sure their needs as always at our heart. And so no matter how challenging it is, we provide solutions to make sure that our customers are valued, they feel empowered, and they feel protected because they are with Millennium.
You are in charge of business retention. What are you retaining?
We are retaining the businesses they give to us.
Okay.
That we make sure that their experience with us through the customer experience journey is a delightful one, is a satisfaction, one of satisfaction, and so they would not think of any other but Millennium.
Does that mean that you sometimes offer consultation, advice, and stuff like
Absolutely.
that? You do. All right. So I know that the insurance industry has become, I don't know if I should, a bit competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to use the word saturated, but that would be too strong a word for it. But competitive indeed. And I want to understand how you are, managing in there, or you are winning businesses and being able to retain them.
Okay, so generally we are customer-centric. We are focused on the customer need. You realize that, especially when the claim happens. Insurance is like you're putting your trust in somebody. When something happens, when the claim happens, we have a system where we are going to be with you through and through. So until when you tell us you have a claim, you find out our customer service folks will call you, will go through, so that in the time when you are actually really in need, we are there for you. That's a major thing that a lot of customers complain about. When we are taking premiums, they say insurance companies take it, but when it comes to the claim, we are
you're slow, you're
lackadaisical about it. So what is happening right now is that we have a business unit that Loretta heads that ensures that once you have the claim, in conjunction with our claims unit, they go all the way and you feel that there's something happening. Every time you know what is happening till the claim is paid. So you know that we are with you like you're a trustworthy partner. And that is like a special thing that really is not in the system.
It's not. Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Loretta convinced me. Like, what do you do? What's your response? Yes. What's your response time like?
So, as my colleague rightly said, with Millennium, we start with the customer, we end with the customer. And so we are here to provide you with the protection that you entrusted in our care. You would agree with me that insurance is an intangible product. And so it is like you're giving me your money. I need to trust you. So when you have a claim, and so the tangibility of insurance is felt at the time of claim. And so when you get the claim, at the time of claim through to when the claim is paid, you are with Millennium all through. We do not leave you to wonder if you are going to be compensated, if you are going to get your asset back or what. We educate you, we advise you, we update you all through till the claims is paid. And even after the claim is paid, we go ahead to take what we call the after payment service that we do, right? So we ask you how your experiences were and how would you want us to better the service if there is a room that we need to, how do you call it? We need to make good our service to you. So that is just the journey we provide you.
So if you know, someone is, I can tell my story, but it's not my story today. So I want you to tell your own story. Right. So if someone, you know, gets himself, normally it's accidents that we are so big on, and depending on the package the person is on. So that's why people most of the time complain. Because if you have a car and the car is like
a third party,
you know, even third party, the car is your everything. So once there's a crash, it's like you want things to be done as soon as possible. And insurance companies are always very slow. You wonder, we've been paying, so why? Is it that the money is not there? What exactly happens with the money when people are claiming they have challenges? I know that you say your response time is faster than what's not in the system. We hear you. But what's the challenge?
Okay, so I think there are a lot of myths around payments of claims.
That's one of the biggest myths.
No, tell me.
They say insurance companies are the biggest. You
are choosing your word carefully.
I don't want to say.
No, so
let's go on.
Okay, so I can say you are a success story, but let me just say that a lot of times when claims happen, you know, that's why we at Millennium Insurance have ensured that we have a customer service unit that explains things to you. I mean, once you notify us of a claim, there are a few things that we regularly request for. So sometimes these things are not forthcoming. Okay, I mean, you say you have a claim. First and foremost, do you have a genuine license? I mean, there are a few things we'll request, and maybe a police report. Sometimes customers don't get that we need all these things because the regulator asks that we put them together. So what we have done at Millennium Insurance is that when you pick a policy with us, we explain all these things way before a claim happens. We explain to you that, I mean, at the point of claim, these are the things that you may need. So that when you're even coming in with the notification, you have all these things already, which makes the process quicker and faster. So usually that is one area that you may say that causes a delay in claims payment.
So if I get myself involved in an accident and my insurance, my
insurer?
No, not my insurance, but my
agent
driver's license has expired.
Yeah,
I am not entitled to.
That's a problem. I mean, because typically you should be driving with
a valid driver's license.
Yeah, but when you were taking the insurance fee, you didn't check whether my license was off or.
No, so that's why you're saying that the point we're making.
Because you know, you are saying that there are some products you have for customers that are not even in a system. I expect the customer service to be
proactive.
To be expansive, such that customers will feel like, apart from maybe driver's license, DVLA, reminding you that you should come and renew your license. Insurance companies should be doing that, because normally when I pay my insurance, Adam doesn't ask me if my license is still active.
Today you're my boss. You're my boss.
That's the truth. Yes, that's the truth. He doesn't ask me.
But so what we expect is.
But you take the money. In fact, when I'm owing, he will be on me to pay. But he won't check my license.
But you know that we expect that that when you've gone through a driving school, before you hit the road, the major or the basic requirement is the license.
No. Don't go there.
No,
don't go there. No, don't go there. Don't go there.
And if I may come in.
Yes, you may.
As a law-abiding citizen, you need to ensure that you have a valid driver's license. No,
yeah.
Sir. Exactly. And so we don't want to give room for us to be going contrary to what the law states that we need to do.
So
you need to get a valid driver's license.
So this is what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
If my license expires, say next month, right? And my driver's license expires, and then I come to renew, and you take the money without checking if my license has expired or not, right? And I get myself involved in an accident, I come for claim, and you refuse me, I'll sue you.
Really?
Yes.
How?
Okay, because the driver's license, what's it called? Valid driver's license is part of your requirement to check if my license, because I'm not a new customer. I've been with you almost all the time. All you are looking at is renew. You're not even checking whether continuously I've been checked. Because when you get your license, I think it expires in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, when you're, yes.
Yes,
you
have to renew in 2 years or something like that. I have to check. So if I'm just renewing and all you're doing is taking the money and taking the money, you're not even checking, and I come to claim, and you refuse to give me, I'll sue you.
So, you know...
And I'll win.
When you have a claim, and when you have a claim and the police comes to you, the first thing they'll ask is the valid driver's license.
That's okay.
Yes, but
the
so
police
even,
will deal with me. The police will deal with me on the basis that I'm driving with a expired driver's license.
And you know, once it's expired, it means that regardless of what happens on the road...
I don't have to be on the road.
Regardless of what happens on the road, it's your fault.
Yes,
That's
but you also don't have to take the money from somebody whose license is expired.
Yes, fair enough. But I'm just saying that, so regardless of what happens on the road, you are to blame, first and foremost, because you're not supposed to be on the road without...
That's true.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so what we are saying is, that's what I'm saying, that's why we have the department now that advises and educates our clients. Ab initio the policy that this is the point, you need to have this, you have to do that. So that education is going on, but we want to entreat and encourage all of us that before you hit the road, have a valid driving license.
Well, that's why we're having this discussion.
Yes,
so
yes,
sometimes you think that you even realize that, okay, maybe you have given us something, we can develop something around that. You can develop a system around that. I mean, Loretta, you are the one in charge of
business retention.
I know, right? So if you really want to retain our businesses, then you need to expand. Yeah, that's why I'm going to. That you have a system. If you have a system like that reminds clients. I have a date of your driver's license in my system. Okay. So once it expires, I know. You prompt. I should be able. Insurance companies should be able to do something like that, and it will be very interesting to have. You are my insurance company.
Yes, you should take you as a consultant so that you.
Insurance companies, we are trying to integrate our system with that of DVLE, and so I'm sure at the point of doing that, all these issues will come up, so that there would be a prompt somewhere that would be a blast to our clients for them.
But have an exclusive. It won't hurt to have an exclusive.
No.
It won't hurt. When Ghana had the interoperability sign on, whatever, when we started, there was the national or the presidents and the vice president were claiming that, Ghana is the first, we're claiming. And then we came and we said, no, Dr. Indu was the one that first did it. Because, yes, Group Indom actually went ahead they started with the group, and then they went into the banks. Right. And then that time, GM Bank was, I think, active. They used it, and it was successful. So you can have bragging rights. You don't really have to wait.
We would have bragging rights.
Just hire me, man. Just hire me. Okay, so let's go through the products you have, right? So we have some of the insurance packages, motor insurance, home protection, travel cover. We have liability coverage. We have business assurance and all. I think let's go through the travel cover.
Okay.
That's not so unique, but tell me what's unique about yours.
What's unique about ours is the repatriation bit of it. When you travel and then the unfortunate happens, our policy compensates the next of kin for the repatriation of the body. So we pay the expenses that comes with it. We have another benefit, the hijack. Okay, and so when you are hijacked in means of public transport, and out there,
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah. And so that bit the benefit is there. We have the benefit of having a legal defense whilst abroad. That's also there. It's not like
Yeah,
so people have the everyday.
These are the special ones you have amidst all the delays. I mean, the everyday ones, the delay, the cancellation, the emergency medical expenditures that is covered. We have the legal defense abroad in there. And then we have the personal civil liability too. So when you go out there during your holidays, having fun, just have your peace of mind in case you go and then damage somebody's property legally. Your travel insurance is covered with that. So, I mean, there are so many happiness in our travel insurance policy.
Oh, that's it. Well, how much do you pay for a month?
Okay, so it's not expensive. It's plan.
They're packages.
Exclusive. So
give me the packages because I'm interested.
We have the Europe plan that covers the whole of Europe and then the Schengen countries.
Schengen areas, yeah.
Okay. We have the Worldwide and then Worldwide 1. It's separated. Worldwide 1 has some exclusions like US, Japan, Canada, those ones, when you take the worldwide one covers, does not covers these countries. However, the worldwide plan, worldwide cover covers every country in the world, with the exception of your home country. When you are home, the travel insurance ceases.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so under these, we have the traveler
But
plan.
you still have to be paying, though.
It's a one-time payment.
It's a one-time payment.
Yeah, for the
Yes.
period.
So for the period, yes, you're traveling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we have the traveler plan, that is the highest benefit. We have the PEL, that is the second highest. Then the family plan, that is a shared benefit actually for the whole family. And then we have the economy, which is the least benefit, but with some good amount of limits in terms of compensations and payouts.
So there was a time I traveled. I'm not on the travel plan, but there was a time I traveled, and I wanted to use my card, and apparently I couldn't because it was new.
The Visa card?
Yes, a Visa card.
Okay.
It was new, and so I couldn't. I think they hadn't activated it for international use. So I was really hot. I mean, like, I had to use cash, and I was very, like, I was just running down on cash.
Yeah.
A person like me, would they have anything like that, or you don't have a package like that?
No, not. I mean, it's not included in the.
There's no.
Currently, we don't have that included in, unless.
But am I giving you ideas?
Yeah, you are. I mean, you are, because this situation can happen.
Yeah.
And it does happen.
Yeah, it does.
And so it is something
because
we can.
I honestly didn't know that
you have to activate it for international travel.
Yes.
So
I mean, it can happen. I may know and just forget.
You know, when it comes to the travel insurance, we liaise with international partners. It's almost every.
So, for example, once you have international partners, there's a possibility that you can have maybe financial flexibility for people who find themselves in such a situation.
Yeah, so that's what's in the.
So if
the
my Visa
discussions
card
will
doesn't work, Millennium Insurance card may be able to assist me.
So that's what because it does not lie strictly with us.
Yes, I know.
Yes, that discussion has to go on.
Yeah,
to see
I know,
whether,
of course.
To see whether that can be included. I mean, basically.
So as he said, with travel insurance, we are kind of reinsurance, but we resell the package from our mother companies out there.
Yeah.
So basically,
I mean, this one, it's something we can bring aboard, on board for them to look at and then provide us with, again, gain us some bragging.
Some limits.
Yeah, bragging rights. Somewhat.
Some limits. Yeah, and you're big on bragging rights. Yeah,
yeah, I'm very big on it. I mean, I don't mind being alone in the system. There's nothing wrong with being different. Once the difference serves a purpose and makes life easier for the customer, why not? So we have a business assurance. I'm sure that's where you're big on. Business assurance for entrepreneurs and companies. And our business insurance solutions address risks like property damage, employee-related incidents, and interruptions that could affect your operations. That one, I'm sure you are not so much exclusive in that field. But what is, again, I'm asking, what is so special about your package?
Okay, so usually we want to be able to protect business properties against fire, damages, theft, and all that. So that's one area we look at. There's something we call the business interruption. We know that, for instance, if let's say you sell some general goods, and then there's a fire, and that within that period, it means that you're unable to do some business. There's some addition to the fire we call the business interruption. That helps you during that period to get back on your feet. Yes, so that is also there. If you start a business, we have something called the workmen's compensation, which by law we are entitled to. It's supposed to protect your workers during their period they are working. Yeah, so we're able to take that risk from you and insure for you so that you have that peace of mind. And then the workers can go about their daily work. So we have policies that shield or protect the business so that just in case there's any risk, you know that it can fall on us. The special bit is that there's a dedicated team. I mean, I'm big on that because in some areas you don't find a team dedicated only to customer satisfaction. There's that team that is dedicated to that, and thankfully their head is in the house now. So they are big on that. So we ensure that on 24/7 they're on call, They don't mind any time you call them. I mean, we have these discussions. I've told them that it doesn't matter after 5 because clients can have any incidents after 5 years. So even 24/7, you call them, they can help you along the way to at least let you know.
So
that
you do 24 hours?
Yeah, I mean, they do it. If they don't, they have to.
Did you hear what I said?
24-hour
economy. I was asking.
No, yes. Only customer.
You provide 24-hour service?
Yes, we do.
24-hour service?
Yes.
24-hour service.
Since when did you start doing that?
The call
on service.
The customer service. Yes.
The call we do because at sometimes it is our Mimi that responds. They're automated, so we get assistance, automations, and also, and so when it becomes necessary for us to step in, there is. That's my trade secret. I don't need to say it all for you. You get me?
But yes, anytime you want to reach us,
there is a way we get prompted that there is a distress call somewhere that we need to attend to.
Let's not put all the strategy.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that I can't let I can't let everything out.
I support you 100%. But there's something I want you to clarify. I don't know if that's also a myth. And it has to do with businesses that you insure. Sometimes you have some of these foreign businesses, and you hear fire outbreaks, and then you hear people say, "Oh, Osheda," like deliberately, put fire in the item. Yeah.
say here because we know that they have that history, and so you realize that these people even find it difficult to have a company to insure them. So yes, it's the truth. Arson is the people there are fraudulent claims all over. Even on motor, you find that somebody goes to put their car on fire, and then they come up and because
actually that happens a lot in the international world. Yeah.
So we are very careful about, but it's something.
But how do you determine arson?
So
through investigation.
So the fire service will help you.
Yes, we have loss adjusters, assessors that go in. There's so many things that go into it.
So are there situations where when it's established that this is arson, then you are not entitled to claims?
Yes, you are not entitled, and then if we need to go further, it becomes illegal because insurance fraud is illegal. And so we go further to go through the legalities.
But what if it's the insurer that's being fraudulent?
The insurer is being
fraudulent. Yeah.
You mean? Yes. That's the same.
Yeah.
Like insurance company.
Yeah, anybody can be a fraudster, including the insurance company. No, because it can't be.
I doubt it can happen.
It's possible that the customer may be guilty or may be pronounced guilty for arson, but maybe it's a genuine accident that happened.
So Annie,
and maybe the person is finding it difficult to establish that it was an accident. Well, why are you looking at me like that?
No, Annie, you see, that is why we have specialists who attend to such situations. Okay, we don't just go there. We have claim adjusters, surveyors, investigators. All these people are in specialized fields that they go and see the event for themselves. And then based on the reports they give us, we are able to establish that indeed this is a fraudulent claim or otherwise. Sometimes the way people go about their businesses leave room for these things for you to doubt certain things they do. However, if it is established that it's a genuine cause and then maybe it was an oversight somewhere, we have ways of adjusting the claim. Other than that, if it is established that this is arson, we go through the legal procedures.
Okay. So, okay, on your screen is the Happy Customer Service. That is Millennium Insurance. If you come into the compound, you find the building there. They also have other branches elsewhere across the country. Are you across the 16 regions?
Yeah, we are in Takoradi, we are in Tema, we are in Koforidua, we are in Kumasi, and we have satellite offices all across the nation.
Okay, we're wrapping up, but give me the reason why a customer should choose Millennium Insurance over any other insurance company.
So, Annie,
have you overcome all the challenges we experienced in the financial sector in the previous years?
No, we're good to go. We're solid.
Millennium,
yeah.
we are good.
We're well capitalized.
You are claiming all your customers.
You don't have problem.
They are coming back.
You don't have problem, Andy.
Okay, Loretta is back.
We have very solid and stable financial, so you are covered. I mean, you would ask why Millennium? Why not Millennium?
Okay.
Okay, when you have our service as prompt and we are there to secure you, give you peace of mind, why not Millennium?
All right. Okay, I'll take your last words so that we can wrap up and then get into the other section. Loretta, look, let me start with ladies.
Ladies first.
No, a lady just ended, so.
Lady just said, yes, that's what I was going to say. So go first.
Okay, so we just want to say that if perchance you have any insurance to do, think about Millennium Insurance. We want you to protect your home, protect your property, protect your family. So Millennium Insurance, we are your trustworthy partner. So come through. I mean, all our offices are open for you. You can reach us out on 0302 766 633, or you can do 0207 545746. You can. We have our social media handles, very active and interactive. So come through, and we do good. Yeah.
All right, Loretta.
So you see the joy you have when you have a partner you can trust and rely on. That is the joy and the feeling you have when you are with Millennium. So with Millennium, you are covered.
Mission possible.
Thank you.
With Millennium Mission Possible, Loretta Mensah is Head Business Retention Unit with Millennium Insurance, and also Franklin and he is Tema Branch Manager for Millennium Insurance. I'm grateful for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick breather. Thank you.
This customer service. This Customer Service Week, we celebrate Mission Possible. To our cherished clients, we say thank you for standing by us over the years and doing business with us. To our credible team, say thank you for making the impossible possible.
So congratulations to you and everybody that won on the bonus ticket. Okay, yes, we hope that next year you get on the luckiest again and win bigger than you won this time. Okay, so congratulations. Yes, wow, from the luckiest to you as one of the winners on this ticket. So congratulations.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Money we define every day.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
It's on SuperSport all season long. Pay your subscription today. Dial *759#. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
All right, you're welcome back. Let's do some politics this afternoon. So there's some updates that has come from the NPP, and the party is done with its balloting exercise, and the numbers are out. Who is on which ballot number? The release says that the Presidential Elections Committee of the New Patriotic Party NPP, in collaboration with officials of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, has successfully conducted the balloting exercise for the party's presidential candidates ahead of the January 31, 2026 presidential primary. Now, the order in which the candidates will appear on the ballot is as follows. So we have Honorable Kennedy Ohinie-Agyapong. He is on number 1. Honorable Dr. Brian Acheampong, he is number 2. And His Excellency, former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is number 3. Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educhum is number 4 on the ballot, and Engineer Kwabena Agyapong is number 5. The committee extends its profound appreciation to all presidential candidates, their representatives, and the officials of the Electoral Commission of the operation. The Presidential Election Committee reaffirms its unwavering commitment to transparency, fairness, and the highest democratic standards in the conduct of the presidential primary. Thank you. It's signed by William Yeboah, Secretary, Presidential Elections Committee. Now, in the studio with me, okay, so those are videos that I think the news team got for us from the headquarters of the New Patriotic Party. In your shot is Kennedy Ohinie-Agyapong, and I'm sure the other aspirants are also around there. We'll bring you sounds and bites as and when necessary. But with me here in the studio is Kwesi Kwarteng, and Kwesi Kwarteng is a legal person. He's also spokesperson for Kennedy Agyapong's campaign team. He's joined me in the studio. Kwesi, you're welcome.
Thank you, Annie.
I like the cute NPP little thing on the shirt.
Oh, thank you.
It's very
looking
cute.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Okay, so also joining us is aide to Brian Acheampong, who is one of the candidates. He picked number 2 on the ballot paper. Pius Enam Hajide. He's aide to Brian Acheampong, former member of parliament as well. Pius, thank you for your time and you're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, my dear sister, and to my colleague, Mr. Kwarteng, in the studios as well.
Were you at the party headquarters today, though?
No, unfortunately, I was not physically present. The candidate was not present either, but there was a powerful team led by Mr. Kwame Owusu, who used to manage Honorable Kennedy Agyapong's campaign for the 2023 primaries, but who is now campaign advisor at the Brian Acheampong for President campaign. He led a delegation to pick the golden number, the number 2.
All right, so there was a reason I asked. That's because of the Kwame Owusu involved. That's why I was asking if you were there yourself. How did Kwame Owusu get into your team?
Well, I believe that Kwame Owusu is persuaded by the strong messaging, the impeccable record and character of the man, Dr. Brian Acheampong. Kwame Owusu, I guess, is motivated by the desire to see the NPP back in power in 2028. Mr. Kwame Owusu realizes the major and daunting challenge of disunity within our ranks, factionalism and tension between leading members of the party, and the need to have a compromise candidate that is able to unify this party. I believe that these and many others were some of the strong, compelling reasons why the wise old man, Mr. Kwame Owusu, have had to leave the camp of the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong and join a more dynamic, a more youthful candidate, a candidate who has more youth appeal, a candidate who can inspire the young people, because he's been able to, in personal capacity, resolve many of the challenges confronting the young people, i.e. jobs, the aspirations of the young people. Mr. Owusu has come to the firm conclusion that Dr. Brian Acheampong, even in private capacity, has been able to deliver the goods, and the young people will be inspired by his victory. So I believe that these are some of the reasons why Mr. Kwame Owusu will now pitch camp with Dr. Brian Acheampong and lead his campaign.
All right, I'll come back to you to the number you've picked, but let's have the opening from my colleague here. So why are you giggling at the Kwame Owusu's movement? Did you not know that he's moved from your camp to that of Pius?
Let me say that. I mean, I thought myself and Honorable Pius, we all had one common enemy, and that is to bring a fresh face, a new candidate. And unfortunately, I'm learning today that we are also enemy for the Brian's camp, because I have a good relationship with Brian, which is known, which is public within, which is also known within a lot of the political space. So I'm surprised this is coming from Pius. But I mean, with Kwame Owusu, one thing is that he was our campaign manager. We are grateful to him for the work that he did, but he couldn't deliver. That is why we've changed him. So if they are now going for somebody that couldn't deliver from the Ken's camp, we wish them the best. But we worked with him, and we knew his capability.
Kwame
he did
also
his best.
Couldn't deliver.
Yes, because Ken couldn't win the elections. But this time around, we have said as a campaign team that we are no longer using a campaign manager. This time around, the polling station executives are campaign managers. The constituency executives are campaign managers. The electoral area coordinators are campaign managers. So we are not necessarily putting the burden on a person, especially having learned from the experiences. We are so grateful to him. He did his best, but the ultimate he couldn't deliver. Is the more reason why we let him go. So Honorable Pius,
you sacked him.
No, he's an adult. At some point in the campaign, the campaign ended, and we needed to form a new campaign team for Dr. Bawumia's campaign. That is the general elections. Subsequently, when we were reforming our teams, we felt that we did not need one person as a campaign manager.
Mm-hmm.
And he also joined by Acheampong's campaign. But most important thing is that he did his best for us. But as a campaign manager, the ultimate was for him to win us election, which he couldn't deliver. And so if somebody who couldn't deliver at Ken's end, Honorable Pius and Co sees him as the messiah to come and win elections for them, fair, I mean, it's fair, so be it. But we wish Honorable, even Dr. Brian himself the best. We wish each of the candidates, all of them, the best. But our focus is not really about who is here or who is there. If we want to talk about who has jettisoned camps, the list is there. Mm-hmm. I mean, Dr. Brian Acheampong himself, at some point, also jettisoned from Dr. Bawumia's camp.
Yeah.
Dr. Aduchu, my former boss, whom I so much respect, also jettisoned and abandoned the boat from Dr. Bawumia's camp. I mean, speculatively, all of you have heard that Ronaldo is no longer with Dr. Bawumia. So I'm not sure the conversation is really about who is...
Nanado?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you
who
put it right in, speculatively.
Yeah, speculatively. Who moved from this, because it's not confirmed.
Yeah.
Who moved from that camp or who moved from this camp. And most importantly, and you agree with me, that because Honorable Dr. Brian is also a new candidate, certainly he's going to take from or draw from the existing camps, which the predominantly were the Bawumia and the Ken camp. Okay. But the good thing is that out of any 10 that he takes 8 from Dr. Bawumia and maybe 1 or 1.5 from Ken. So it's good for us.
Is that the analysis you've done?
I mean, that's the observation that is going around, and I'm sure you may also subject it to your own scrutiny. But we are very confident that even Brian's introduction into the race and how he's making the inroads in the Bawumia camp is really giving us an edge.
Yeah. It did. It's the reason why I say that maybe...
Pius is also laughing.
Pius, do you have something to say to what he said?
May I seize the moment to compliment my senior on his smartness? He's looking sharp in the studios.
Yeah.
However, I have to disagree with him on who should bear ultimate responsibility on the failure of the Honorable Kennedy Acheampong to win the primaries of 2023. I think that ultimately the responsibility falls on the shoulders of Honorable Kennedy Acheampong to shift that blame to somebody who was not on the ballot, somebody whose vision was not at issue. somebody whose plan was not at issue, but a staff, an administrator, a programmer, a mobilizer, for me will be quite unfair. If anybody should be held responsible for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong's failure in 2023, I guess that it should be Honorable Kennedy Agyapong himself. But having said that, we have good relationships. Not just, he doesn't have just a good relationship with my principal, the next flag bearer, Dr. Brian Acheampong. He has excellent relationships with me or I with him. But at this point, I think that the facts, we must articulate the facts. It's not personal at all. And I have nothing against the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And like Brian Acheampong says, when and not if, when he becomes flag bearer and ultimately president, the likes of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong and co, they will play prominent roles in moving Ghana forward. So it's not personal at all.
So with what Kwesi Kwarteng is saying, what role, maybe I would say, that he could not live up to expectation when he was with the Kent's camp? What role is he playing, apart from going this afternoon to do the balloting for you? What role is he playing in your camp? And are you sure that he can deliver?
Well, the person who is ultimately responsible in any campaign, there's a campaign who have staff, a campaign who have a manager, a campaign who have a spokesperson, and so on. But the vision bearer is the man at issue. And so the leadership is coming from the Venerable Dr. Brian Acheampong. All of us who work with him, we work up to him, and we are led by his vision and his aspirations and so on. Mr. Kwame Owusu is a colossus in our body politic. Everybody knows that. He has enormous experience. But for the moment, he is campaign advisor. We run stuff by him. We take his input, he advises. But at the end of the day, the candidate has to be responsible for every move that the campaign takes. We take him seriously. He's a very, very serious person. Kwame Owusu is a very, very serious person. And we are confident that his involvement has added to our campaign.
I think Kwesi disagrees with you.
If you listen to what Honorable Pius is saying, he seems to even raise Kwame Owusu even higher than the candidate. Brian is a fantastic guy, strategic, a goal chaser. I mean, very apt to the task that he's doing. But it appears he's even trying to even raise the capabilities.
I'm not sure.
That's what he's doing, because I thought he would even promote.
That's not fair. That's not true.
I thought he was even going to promote Dr. Brian more than Kwame Owusu. Dr. Brian will not be happy with you. That you are promoting his campaign advisor more than him.
I see. Kwegu, I see what you are doing, but I make the point again that Dr. Brian Acheampong is the one in charge. He's a candidate. We are led by his vision. He gives guidance. Yes, we receive input from the likes of Kwame Owusu, who is a colossus in the Ghanaian politics and in the NPP politics, no doubt about that. And he has added to our campaign. But it is the man of the moment, Dr. Brian Acheampong, who is firmly in charge. It is his campaign. And that is why I regret that you are shifting blame to Kwame Owusu for the failure of the Kennedy campaign in 2023. If anybody has to bear responsibility, it should be Kennedy Agyapong and not Kwame Owusu, who was merely a staff of the campaign.
Annie. Let me just pick your mind. Let's go straight into the balloting. So your candidate, Dr. Brian Acheampong, has picked number 2. And we know that in politics, the numbers also mean a lot to you. Have you done some numerologies on the numbers, coupled with what analysis are going? Yes. What exactly do you think? Do you like the number you've picked? And how does it add to your campaign?
My dear sister, we are grateful to God. I mean, Dr. Brian Acheampong is a household name in the NPP. And we know that no matter what number he picks, he was going to win the primaries anyways. I mean, everybody knows Dr. Brian Acheampong. We hold the view that he's going to win the elections on the strength of his message, his impeccable track record, his support for the party, rising through the ranks when it was wards, through polling stations, becoming chief of staff to then National Chairman Jacob Echebi Lamptey, his financial support to the party, really and truly unprecedented. I mean, these are the reasons why Dr. Brian Acheampong will win the elections. The promises that he's making, how he would resource the party at the base and move away from the campaign of razzmatazz into a campaign that is data-led and that is scientific and empowering the base of our party, so that even when government is formed, the party will not be removed from government, because it is the party that will birth his government, and that he will give benefits to the workers of the party, that is polling station executives, electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, regional and national officers. He will let them benefit directly for their endeavor and their sacrifices. We are confident that Dr. Brian Acheampong is going to win the elections based on these issues, his message and his track record. So whichever number that Dr. Brian Acheampong would have chosen, we knew that this election was already in the bag. However, we are grateful to God for his guidance and his indications. And for me, God is speaking to the New Patriotic Party, and that this second chance that he has given us, he is giving an indication who it is that can win this second election. You know, the first election, we won miserably, a deficit of 1.7 million plus votes. Parliament, we were decimated. God, in his own mercy and infinite wisdom, is indicating to us that this number 2 election that we are going to, we should focus on a candidate. And so he's put somebody there to remind us that to the rescue is coming the man at number 2. Again, any honest observer of our politics will admit that there is some amount of tension and factionalism, if you may, in our party. You recall the showdowns and then the accusations that somebody was responsible for our defeat in the 2024 elections. I believe that the Lord Almighty does not want a repeat of showdown and wants a unified and united party
come clear on that.
Execute.
Come clear on that. Are you accusing?
I will. I will.
Mm-hmm.
I will. I'm not accusing it. I'm just saying that if you see that God has placed the good Dr. Brian Acheampong between the likes of the venerable Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and the venerable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, one is sitting to his left and one is sitting to his right. God's indication to the New Patriotic Party is that he has given us a Joshua that will bring the Moses and the Aaron camps together, so that we can forge a united front to be able to execute a decent campaign in 2028. And so for me, it's not too much about where one is, but we are grateful for such signals and indications from the Lord. Being that one, this is a second chance election, and there is a savior that God is giving to the New Patriotic Party, and so we should look at the number 2. And again, that Dr. Brian Acheampong is sitting right there in between the former Vice President and former flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and the Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. And he will be the person to unify the ranks, bring all the support bases of the 2 contenders, those other 2 contenders, so that we can forge the unity that we desire and require to be able to win the 2028 elections. So for me, this is the take home. This is the indications from the Lord as I am getting them.
Akuzi. You are to one is to the left, one to the right. I was trying to make reference to the Psalms in the Bible, which will tell you that only your eyes will you use to see the work of the wicked. So to your left there's one evil, there's right there's one evil, but you are in the middle to save the
That's Pius' argument.
Well, I mean,
but this one is
biblically.
Even if you want to go by that logic, it's not one to the left and one is to the right. Maybe one is to the left, but there are other 3.
To the right.
To the right. So.
How? Oh, because you picked one.
So Dr. Brian Acheampong picked number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then number 3 is Dr. Bawumia.
Bawumia, yes.
4, Dr. Duchum. Agyapong 5. So per extension of the logic that Pius is advancing.
If you go by that same logic.
Is one here and 3 there. Even if he wants to put Dr. Brian in the middle, it'll still be 1 here and two down. But anyway, that's not for me. That I mean, yes.
Yeah. I see the point you're making, but I referred to the situation and the tensions and the factionalism. You know that when we speak about these issues, we can excuse the likes of the good Dr. Educhum and Kwame Ejepong. They historically have not been part of the tensions that you and I are both aware of.
Okay, so you unite Ken and Baumia's campaign, leave those two.
Absolutely,
but those two,
absolutely.
They won't be needed.
Being in the middle neutralizes the space.
They will come along naturally.
After uniting the two. Okay. Anyway.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's the job we find ourselves. At some point, you have to always create the correlation and linkage. I mean, we all do it. And he's done it so perfectly. I was surprised that he elected two senior members of the party, elected to ignore them, and said those people will naturally come on board. We wish you all the best after everything. But I mean, the most important thing is that the numbers do count, especially in terms of the visibility, marketability of the candidate relative to the number on the ballot. When you have one, it makes it quite easy. Or your number one, though, people are able to recall, it sticks in their memory, even in terms of people randomly going to the ballot to vote, to cast their vote. Certainly, there's no way you mix the person on the number one. So in terms of that added advantage it gives to us. But look, Annie, we are not banking all our hopes on numbers. No. Of course, it even goes beyond numbers. There has been men of God that have spoken several prophecies. People have even prophesied about them. One. So we were so much aware that there's a confirmation of prophecies that some of them we received in our private offices and our private capacities.
Oh, you received some confirmation that you picked the ballot, the ballot.
Yeah, people have prophesied about Ken going to win. People have also come to us privately to even talk about the positions just as a way of confirmation. But I'm saying that beyond the prophecies, beyond the numbers. I mean, numerologists may deal with numbers. We are not experts in numerology. They may want to argue there. Our focus is that beyond it giving us an added advantage, and of course, confirming what God has said, which, I mean, you and I may agree to some extent that Ken's campaign and the trajectory of his campaign appears more divine. And I agree that it is indeed divine. We are not going to bank all our hopes on the numbers. We are going to the over 200,000 polling station executives. And I assure them of two basic things. That one, in 2028, we are going to win power for them. And the second is to create jobs for Ghanaians and, of course, the teeming youth that are almost living in despair. A lot of the teeming youth, despair has not just become a movement. It's almost become a way of life. And Ken is going to make sure that he corrects it. We are not so much interested in who is in the middle or who is in the bottom and is going to unite world. At the end of the day, we all pledge our commitment that whoever comes out of this process victorious accept part. We've done it again. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. The history has always guided us that the MPP, after every election, we come together with one accord and prosecute the mission ahead. And I'm very confident, and I've always maintained every platform that I go. I stated very clearly that in the spirit of revival, after 16 years of, a certain type of leadership or category of persons having the opportunity to lead our party. We believe that they've done their best for the party. But even in the spirit of revival, party cohesion, party unity, we need a new face. And of course, needing a new face is, you also have to look at what the people want. Annie, pick your camera. Let your producers go to the market. People will tell you that if Kennedy Japan comes, they will vote. If you go to schools, if Kennedy Japan comes, they will vote. The business community. You see, a lot of Ghanaians have so much trust and confidence in the candidate and personality of Kennedy Japan. And that, for me, is his trump card.
But the Bawumia can boast of saying that they also take cameras elsewhere and they will tell you we want Dr. Bawumia.
No, but the evidence doesn't support that. The last election lost 199 constituencies, 72.4 rejection rate. Out of about 9 regions as I speak to you.
You're talking about the main elections?
Yeah, the main elections.
Yes, but we're talking about the party election.
No, but at the end of the day, if you win the party elections and the people are going to reject you again, well, because it's just like boasting of rich ideas when you can't even win power. How are you going to implement those ideas?
But how sure are you that Kennedy Japan can win, can win elections if he wins on a ticket of the MPP?
No, you see, even when you are conducting research, one of them is by observation, and you also do an objective man test randomly. When you meet people randomly, what do they tell you? And you see, 2028, for me, if you ask me, people have lost trust in political parties and politicians, and to extent politically exposed individuals. So 2028 is not really going to be about the parties per se, but it's about the credibility, the trust, the marketability of the candidates. And when I say marketability, in this extent, I'm talking about acceptance, not necessarily visibility of the candidate. Of course, all the candidates have been visible. People know Dr. Brian, people know Dr. Bawumia. But Dr. Bawumia had even had the opportunity to be visible for about 16 years, being in the helms of affairs of the party. But in terms of the acceptability is the trust, the premium, the credibility, the track record that we built over the years. And of course, juxtaposing that with the current challenges that confront us as a country has always been unemployment. People need jobs. We will talk about the World Bank statistics, which is projecting that in 10 years, there's going to be about 1.2 billion job seekers, which about 800 million of them is not going to be existent. Certainly, we have to realign, we have to rethink, we have to reimagine how we are going to do with our governance system in terms, if we indeed want to develop. And I tell you that if we speak to majority of Ghanaians, comparing or juxtaposing to the current challenges that confront us, which is job creation, a lot of people believe that Kennedy Agyapong has the track record, especially when he delivered in his private capacity, establishing or building a lot of businesses, recruiting about 7,000 people in that number of years that he's built businesses. He has a track record, he has a credibility, and people have so much confidence in him. So that gives me that assurance, especially when NDC is also even going to present a new candidate. Chances are that if you are being very objective and reasonable, chances are that you'll be a general or the man who likes to jog, the current chief of staff, Julius Zebra, Honorable Julius Zebra.
He doesn't like to jog.
But every weekend, you've not seen it. He likes exercising.
Yes.
But he'll be jogging. They are not facing Galamsey, they are jogging. But that's by the way. Chances are that the two of them are going to appear on the ballot, each one of them. And comparing these two, General or Honorable Julius to Ken, I mean, clearly, you should know that Ghanaians the youth are going to align more with Ken.
Okay. Let me bring in Pius. I'll come back to you, but Jonathan Asante-Okyere, Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere is a senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Have you moved to the University of Ghana? Hello, Doc.
No.
Okay.
Yes, Annie. No.
Just for clarity.
Yeah, I'm still with UCC.
Okay.
But I do come and lecture in Legon as well.
Sometimes. Okay. So he's a senior political lecturer at UCC, University of Cape Coast.
Journalist.
Now, also political analyst. So we've seen the NPP has, finally and successfully done their balloting, and the numbers are out. Kennedy Agyapong, number 1, Dr. Brian Acheampong, number 2, Dr. Bawumia, number 3, Dr. Duchum, number 4, is how I'm saying it, Doctor. Oh, wow. Engineer Kwabena Ejay Agyapong is also number 5. That is what we have presented to us.
Yeah. Well, let me say good afternoon to your good self and to those in the studio and your viewers. The point is that, you could see that, across all fronts, they are campaigning vigorously. And obviously, there was the need for this balloting to be done so that people use that as some form of campaign messaging.
Yeah.
And so I think it was well done. And having listened to, one from the side of Mr. Kennedy Agyapong, the other from Dr. Brian, obviously everybody will be advocating for one, or the other. And so that is expected. That being said, I'm yet to hear about some of these numerological perspectives to the balloting. So far, I think they have kept a bit mute on that. But I heard Mr. Kwarteng suggest to the effect that there have been prophecies here and there, prophesizing that Mr. Kennedy Japon is going to win, and then trying to even compare that of Mr. Kennedy Japon to Julius Debra and then probably Mr. Asiedun Katia. Well, I think that it's a little too early.
Well, that I think that's a fair comparison because we've had Global Info Analytics do all that analysis in his recent polls that he conducted. He did a comparison. I can pull it up and check how it actually looks like with Dr. Baumia, with Mosquito, I mean, all the necessary breakdowns so that we see how the trend is going.
In the case of the comparative analysis that he did, with Mr. Asiedun Katia, he beat both, Mr. Kennedy Japon and that of Dr. Baumia, but the margin is not as big as that of Dr. Atiforson and that of Haruna Idrisu. So I'm aware of that, but my position on that particular polling that he did. I mean, it is highly too speculative because none of these people have been allowed or have demonstrated their willingness to contest for that particular position. The rest is just the same history. It's just speculative. Yeah. And I'm of the view that, he going on that tangent is merely speculative because you do not know who is going to be on the ballot of the NDC. So I believe that much as they've done, they have focused, on the strength of their candidate. And that for me is well in order. As I said, other than that, this issue of prophecies and some of these things, they are not scientific. They have some kind of psychological, edge to press on the emotional button, so to speak, of some of the delegates, who may be aligned in that particular order. But other than that, it is purely unscientific. What is scientific is the message that you put out there, the resources that you'll be able to use to project the candidate, and the human resource, top-notch human resource that will be able to convince, everybody to come into your camp instead of the other. And so that, for me, should be the more scientific approach to the campaign strategy.
Is that to say that, without official announcements, speculative polls are not important?
Well, they are quite tempting. You see, and they are also a distraction of a sort, if you ask me.
Well, but that's the whole idea.
And,
you have to come to the table with a strong mentality, speculative or not. If we're voting today, this is how it looks like. If we're voting next 3 months, this is how it looks like. You just have to be able to follow the trend so that it helps you shape your campaign. So, it can also be that some speculative names may even drop along the line, and there is some projections. If this one decides not to go, this is how it's going to look like. There's a possibility of support base shifting into this camp, you understand? And so sometimes the political players take advantage of it, and they sort of go underground to, I don't know how to put it, play their games, try to get people into their camps. Do you understand?
Yeah, but you may decide to rely on that. Others may also be doing the submarine approach in terms of politics. And by the time you say Jack, they would have come up, without you suspecting. Yeah. Speculators have gotten sometimes a bit right, other times wrong. And so there is no way you can, prevent somebody from speculating. That for me is okay. But if that is how you think is a scientific process of, as it were, polling and finding out what is likely to happen, because if it is a matter of speculation, what prevents Global Info Analytics from adding the vice president? It does not lie. It does not lie in the bosom of Global Info Analytics to suggest to everybody that the vice president is probably of age, or the vice president fell sick, and for which reason she may or may not, because everybody else, the names that you speculated, may or may not. So if that is the case, then the vice president name should be there. But that is my argument. You see, that is my argument. But if I don't want to believe that polling is becoming a king-making process, that should not be the case. It should rather put people on their toes and decide to look at data and work along the path. But if you have the liberty of thinking that you are eliminating some people based upon the type of questions that you are asking, you will elicit some kind of result. And you are including some categories of people and ask some type of questions, you will get a certain result or certain responses. So if it is a matter of speculation, when none of these people have offered to say that, oh, the nominations that have been open, I'm going to contest, then I think that it is more or less like a king-making process. And that, for me, is not proper.
Okay, all
it's
right.
Not proper.
Just for the sake of time, do you think that where we've got the stage the NPP is now would sort of reduce the acrimony in the system? We've seen the exchange of attacks from camp to camp. How is this going to help them, water down some of these attacks?
Well, now that the balloting is done, you have Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, number one. Obviously, they will come up with certain sloganeering and then use that to campaign. The NPP took number one, they lost miserably, and the NDC took number 8, and they won. And so some of these things will come, but I think that I will urge them to focus on issues. I am of the view that before the 2024 elections, the 2023 presidential primaries, Mr. Kennedy Agyapong had a superior message than Dr. Bawumia. I've always said that he had a superior message. I am also of the view that Dr. Bawumia was constrained because having been the vice president, having led the party to win in 2016, and having all the ideas making them to win the 2020 elections, now, not being able to actualize those things then became an albatross around his neck. So he was constrained even within the internal elections, though he believed he was going to win because based upon the organogram and the architecture in terms of establishment and other things, he was likely to win. But he wasn't that popular within the party. That is something that created problems for him. And so his messaging lacked some kind of new ideas and other things because nobody was going to believe him. So he had to tone down in terms of the vote, the messaging and certain promises. Well, Dr. Barney Agyapong, a fantastic gentleman. He speaks very well, he's very articulate, but he has a lot of, cobwebs in his wardrobe that you have to clear. And those things that are negative campaigning. But if I were him and his handlers, he would have apologized and, come up with something nice to say that, well, I was misled in doing this, doing that. I believe when I'm given the opportunity, I should be able to do A, B, C, and D.
Can you mention one of the issues that makes a cobweb and then makes Brian Agyapong unattractive?
Of course, his desire to buy the Senate hotels. I mean, it's a bad publicity for him.
Okay.
Of course, in 2 weeks in a row, using violent type of campaign messaging in that violent support of Dr. Bawumia. So the question that people will be asking is what has really changed? His argument is the fact that Dr. Bawumia promised delivering the Northern vote, the Zongo vote, and so on and so forth, and he couldn't do that. So that's the more reason why probably he wants to contest. But there may be other motives that he want to announce his presence, and if Dr. Bawumia should win and he's not able to win the 2028, maybe he could take a stronger claim for the delegate to decide otherwise. So that is that. But we can also look at Dr. Educhum. I mean, fact ought to be put across, but the point is that he appears to have less of a burden than the rest of the candidate. Don't forget that Mr. Kennedy Agyapong may gain that high acceptability within the party. But the main problem that the dilemma of delegate will be whether he will have the same outside the party. That is something that may equally work against him. And it is because of the things that he said in the past, the kinds of vituperative attacks that he's had, over the period against some people, the clergy and so on and so forth. These things will definitely work against him. along the line. And so I feel that Dr. Duchum would have been, a more ideal candidate for the party. But as to whether they will vote for him.
Okay.
That Mr. Kwab will have opted to contest for the chairmanship of the party. And I had a belief that the two of them, he himself and that of Boache Jaku, these two I propose for that chairmanship because you are not going to be voted for the presidential slot. So if you really want to bring that change, that you have that desire you want to bring in terms of change within the party, now that the party says that, look, when you are the chairman of the party, you are, whether you are in government or you are in opposition, you are the leader. So that in itself is a solid position that if you have decided to go for, that would have been very helpful because you cannot be a perennial contestant for that particular slot, and yet you do not make any showing.
Okay. Dr. Jonathan Asante-Okyere, thank you for your time, political analyst and also senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast.
Annie.
Pius, you want to make some interventions, I guess.
An opportunity to respond to one or two comments made by my colleague on the other line.
Okay.
His words were that one of the candidates, i.e. Dr. Brian Acheampong, had skeletons or cobwebs.
Yes.
And then you asked him to identify those ones. And the two things that he spoke about, I'm surprised that anybody would cite those as skeleton in anybody's cobwebs or wardrobes. I'm scandalized even by the thought that, assuming without admitting that a capable Ghanaian who was not even in government at the time, that the government agency was disposing of some of its shares, its interest in hotels, expresses an interest in buying them, that becomes skeletons in their cardboards. I'm surprised that that level of analogy would be articulated on national television. I would have thought that wrongdoings will be pointed to as in there's a breach of so and so law and so on. Dr. Brian Acheampong has the most ambitious hospitality program in Africa. The biggest hotel in Africa by rooms belongs to him. He's in that industry. And if his governing board, when the state of Ghana wants to divest of or partner a potential investor to run down hotels, and a Ghanaian, why? The people of Ghana, the good doctor that's on the line, he would rather that we sold or we partnered with the Chinese or with the Lebanese, or I mean, I don't get it. How that becomes a skeleton in one's cupboard beats my mind. And then the other one is that there was a violent campaign. I don't know what the particulars of that violent campaign is. I mean, I think that the Dr. Jonathan probably mischaracterized or misspoke the issues. Those cannot be. In any case, the corporate management of the Rock City brand that expressed an interest in purchasing those SNID hotels is different from the personality running for President Dr. Brian Acheampong. And again, we have settled this matter as a discredited NDC propaganda. It's been settled. So I'm surprised that coming from him, it will be stated or incited as a skeleton. But that's an aside. I'd rather focus on...
If you can allow me just a second. I like where you are coming from. Of course, you are speaking for Dr. Brian. I like him. The point is that don't forget that this decision to buy these hotels even led to the entire TUC going on strike against the government.
But so that makes it a skeleton.
That is not a bad publicity. That's why I'm saying that you can work on it.
No, but you said
a different image. But if you say it is a mischaracterization, well, maybe the results will tell.
No, but you characterized it as a skeleton in somebody's cobweb.
No, maybe
if you talk about bad publicity, if I may, if you talk about bad publicity, of course, against a very potent NDC propaganda machinery, They can even convince you that water is oil. And so if you talk about bad publicity, these things are cured over time. And that is why right now, the vast majority of the people of Ghana have come to admit that a lot of the things that were peddled by the NDC before the 2024 elections were falsehoods, including that one. So time will deal with that matter. But to characterize it as a skeleton means that you yourself are convinced that there was wrongdoing on his part. And that's where I'm coming from.
Well, I'm saying that, you see, the point is that at that time, what Ghanaians were talking about was state capture. And that virtually aroused the entire labor union against that particular individual, whether his company or what he stands for. So it is very difficult to distance his name from that. I am of the view that in terms of management, if this is the use of the word, what is it called, a cobweb in the wardrobe, it doesn't mean something evil. It is just that something that even internally, your own opponent can use against his candidature. Your own opponent, i.e. that of the Bawumia camp, that of the Kennedy camp, they can use against him.
Pius, can you hear me?
I think that the matter... Yes, I can hear you. I just wanted to say that I think that the matter is now being properly characterized.
Right.
However, in terms of the candidates in the NPP race, the ones with the cleanest bill of health, if you ask me and you ask any honest and NPP observer, any Ghanaian observer, one of the candidates with the cleanest bills of health will be Dr. Brian Acheampong.
Cleanest bill, hold on, cleanest bill on health.
Cleanest bill of health in terms of supposed scandals and issues.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay. But I mean, I think, but I think it's free consultation. If people within the political space come up and they tell you that issue 1, issue 2, issue 3 are still lingering around, or they become albatross around the person's neck, I think it's just fair for you to just take it and run with it. That's all.
Well, in the context that their preference is for Dr. Educhum, then you have to understand the framing, because the gentleman on set had actually announced his preference for the candidature of Dr. Educhum. And so it doesn't surprise me that he will want to take a moment to probably run down to a small degree the other contenders, particularly the ones that he sees will pose a threat. So that is how I will then have to come in to redirect the narrative.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that intervention. But let me try. If Dr. Ikuamarko, are you there with us?
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you. I thought you were gone. You've been silent for too long. You're welcome. So yeah, we've been discussing, the various camps and the candidates that have now identified themselves with the numbers on the ballot paper. Dr. Bawumia is on number 3. Did you go to the party headquarters? Somebody picked for him. What exactly is the number looking like in your camp?
Yes, so this morning His Excellency was held up on other engagements, meeting with some of the party members. So other members of the campaign team went to the party office to participate in the balloting on his behalf. We are quite satisfied with whatever number we picked, really, because I think the delegates of the MPP are very sure in their minds. They can testify to the character of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So as I keep telling you when I come on your show, it's more about reminding them about the journey they've been on so far and the reasons why they should continue to trust him on their journey together. So if you look at all the other candidates, and I've heard my brother Kwesi Kwarteng in the studio say a lot of things that I would not want to spend too much airtime to respond to. But I don't know where he goes to meet people that everyone is for Honorable Ken, because I haven't met such people. And indeed, if you look at all the credible polls, I see a certain poll on your screen. I do not know where that one is from, but indeed, if you look at all the credible polls, it puts His Excellency Dr. Bawumia well in the lead. All you need to do is go out and interact with party people, and it's clear who they prefer. And indeed, in 2023, not too long ago, the party went and had a flag bearership contest, just like we are doing now. And that was just barely 2 years ago. But to be able to make a really good comparison, about 3 of the aspirants were actually part of the 2023 cohort. Honorable Kennedy Japan was also a candidate, and even amongst his own party, he struggled to get even 40%. So sometimes I do not understand the line of arguments that our brothers on the other side continue to talk. It is clear to the delegates of the party who has the best character to be able to hold the party together in the crucial times that we find ourselves, where we need a leader who is able to unite and who is not a truly divisive character. If you look at what happened to us in 2024 after the election, it shows that the MPP has indeed been through something, and we need to be able to listen clearly to the voices of Ghanaians with the lesson and the message that we're trying to tell us so that we can then respond adequately. It's very clear that one of the key drivers of this election will be the character. Who do you think has the character and temperament to be able to lead our party, not just lead our party, be able to become president of Ghana? Again, it becomes to who has a vision, who has a clear vision that Ghanaians understand, who has a clear vision that we can sell to the Ghanaian people to regain their trust on our journey to build a better Ghana for all of us. Again, with that, it becomes very clear looking at the record of His Excellency, the former vice president, as a running mate, as a vice president, and even in his limited role as vice president, the number of things he was able to accomplish. It's clear that when given the chance, he'll be able to execute his very clear, concise vision for the country. As a party, again, it's also clear to the delegates that we've sent Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for this election before. He's been our candidate before, and it's funny enough, I heard your previous guests discussing the ever-potent propaganda machinery of the NDC. It's been put in full swing at His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So many things have been said about him that have come out to be false now. And the vindication for his candidacy seems to be happening day in, day out. You wake up today and there's vindication from Bank of Ghana about some of his plans, about the gold-backed city. There's this here, there's that here. Galamsey that I discussed in your studio not too long ago. It becomes very clear to the party delegate that repeating the candidature of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, beyond the advantages that consistency seems to present in our election, is also something that will make the marketability process of the party very simple, because there's not much left to say about him again. We can just imagine.
I think it's not so. If you can hear me, I think it's not so clear when you say there's not much to say about him again. That's a person who has been vice president of the whole country. Most of the policies that were being touted by the previous administration were touted, with his name alongside. And he personally has had the opportunity to apologize to Ghanaians and party faithful he's actually spoken with and stuff like that. So there's still, what you mentioned, the issue of trust. As to whether or not party faithful and Ghanaians in general have believed him, they've trusted him, they think that the mistakes committed in previous government will not be repeated. Is that the assurance you have?
Well, so if I was going on with that explanation to get to a point, what I'm trying to say is that it's very clear that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been at the forefront of Ghana politics for a very long time. We are very much aware of when the smear campaign of the NDC started against him somewhere in 2020. Right now, we wake up and every day there's a little dose of vindication the people of Ghana are receiving to make it clearer what His Excellency was standing for. And another thing that, once you go into it, it becomes quite a controversial area, but it's the absolute truth, is that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the Vice President of the Republic. He was not the president. We've not seen his presidency yet. That's something that, when it comes up, it becomes a little controversial. Of course, he takes collective responsibility and he takes responsibility for everything that happened in his government, hence the apology. Because even though a lot of good things were done, of course, the party people were not happy with everything that happened. And so it was on that basis that the apology was rendered. And I think I've explained it on this show before, prior to that. But there are lots of other things that were said about him but that are coming out to be false. The way the economic situation that befell the whole world, including Ghana, was handled. Now it is coming out and we are getting vindication from indeed Bank of Ghana, the World Bank, that his idea to back our economy essentially with some commodities, which in our case was gold, was a good thing, and it has contributed to our recovery as a country. Those kinds of vindications cannot be overlooked. And what we are saying is that in contrast, all the other, as one of your other guests spoke, all the other skeletons and all the other candidates' wardrobes have not yet been brought out. If in any contest there's opposition research, what your opponents will not want you to put out. We can just imagine the quantum of videos we will find unpleasant that could be accrued and played with response to some other candidates. Why should the party, talking as a delegate, why should the party put themselves through all of that when there's already a candidate that's been marketed, a candidate that we can continue to rally behind, who is of good character and has demonstrated that he has a vision to be able to lead Ghana? There's very little reason for them to change from that person and now go and try another candidate with all the problems it brings.
I'm not sure if Dr. Bawumia is disguising himself in a certain way, because he personally said you don't look at him as in just his personal appearance and take him for granted. What did that mean?
When was that mentioned then?
Pardon?
When was that mentioned? You're trying to quote His Excellency, and I want to know when he said that.
It was one of his talks. I think it was in Kumasi. And he said that he shouldn't be taken for granted. You can't look at him. Well, I'm paraphrasing. I've forgotten the exact words he used, but that was.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not really understanding.
Yeah, that was to say that don't just look at him and take him for granted. It was to say that.
No, I think this was when he submitted the forms and he said he was cool on the outside, but
yes,
in our results,
yes, exactly.
Is that what you were making with?
What did that mean?
Exactly. I mean, it's one of the, when you're going into an election, your opponents try to look at what they think might be your weaknesses and try to highlight it. So it's one of the things that have been said that he's a little calm or along those lines. And I think for those of us that work with him, we can quite testify that it's not, he has a calm demeanor and the temperament that is required of a leader. But when action is required, he's apt for the task and he always takes it. So
okay.
I think it was an allusion to that.
Okay, hold on. Let me have Kwesi. You want to make some?
Yeah, of course. We all want to, don't we?
Yes, you can. You may.
I can't hear Kwesi.
Okay, you can hear him now.
I can hear him.
Am I good to go?
Yes.
Unfortunately, okay, very well. I'm saying that I want to make some few quick reactions to what my sister Kia said. But of course, it is important for me to highlight that I do not want to sound argumentative, because ultimately it's still one party that we are trying to protect, and of course the image of the party. Protecting the image, the sanctity and integrity of the party and the entire electoral process is also very crucial. But if you summarize her submission, you realize that she spoke largely about two things: on character of the candidate and also the second chance. On the character of the candidate, I was thinking she was going to project the good side of her candidate. But you witness subtle jabs about why she feels some candidate, they are going to play videos about a candidate when he's elected. I think the conversation should move from there. Annie, we are not saying Ken is spotless. Neither are also saying Ken is a saint. Our argument is that he is a human being. He has strength. He has shortcomings, just like all of us. Mm-hmm. But even in spite of what shortcomings that we may attach to him based on the side that we want to look at, still, we can still capitalize on them and still use to develop our country. If it has to do with character traits or the references that she made, I mean, people have also been referring to his candidate as a weak candidate, even though they may say that he is humble. But if you juxtapose, for instance, with what happened in the last elections, EC had given a space of 72 hours to make a declaration, if you recall. In less than 24 hours, his candidate made a declaration, obviously, to look good and abandon the rest of the MPs. This is what even John Mahama even didn't do in 2020. So we are going into a crucial election. If you want us to narrow the conversation to cut-offs of candidates, then I want to remind her that we need a strong candidate for 2028. We do not need any candidate who, in his attempt to look good and appear good for his next election, will abandon the ship in the middle of the ocean. That's what we are doing.
For the safety of the whole nation.
No, you see, let me tell you, even though it sounds like a reason, it's an excuse. When Mahama held onto his feet and protected his MPs till the election was finally called by the Electoral Commission, did the country burn?
Well, I'm not sure Ghana will burn anything.
What Dr. Bawumia did then, by that decision, is what even emboldened some of these NDC tags to go to the coalition centers and cause those disturbances. So if there is anything at all, the argument should rather be that he is the one that actually increased and deepened the chaos. So they shouldn't go there. You are talking about character. And Kennedy's character causes. Kennedy's character causes. The DDEP, was it Kennedy's character? You picked dollar from 1 to 4 from President Mahama. President Mahama 1 to 4. You took it from 1 to 17. Did Kennedy's character cause that? When Kennedy was complaining that you should take care of party people, did Kennedy's character cause that? What about the NAPCO people that you failed to pay for about 2 years? Did Kennedy's character cause that? So if you want us to have a very sound argument or sound debate, let's talk about what people are going to do. But to draw in people's character, Kennedy is there and we are going to play his videos. Who doesn't have a video? Politics is about projection. It's about brand. It's about PR. Your candidate has done it so well. But we are saying that it's about time that we don't have to let anybody define who a presidential material is for us. Kennedy is assertive. He is bold, he is fearless, he is courageous. You can call him temperamental. We don't care. But we are saying that Kennedy is just overly passionate about getting results. It is better than a candidate who appear, I'm humble, and give us the worst results ever. Out of 276 constituencies, we lost 199 of them. As I speak to you, there are 9 regions that we just have 5 seats out of 98. 4 of them, we don't even have a representation. 345,000 more people voted for our PCs and voted against your candidate. The worst defeat that we ever had. Then you talk about a second chance. Let's compare the history and let history guide us. What did the Dubois get? 30.29%. Even a Dubois, in spite of all the circumstances surrounding his election. Because you recall, that was a time that we were transitioning from the military era to the very proper democratic and constitutional rule. Even in spite of those times, the hostilities where they use opaque boxes, intransparent electoral process, he had 30.29. Kufuor then increased it to 39. President Akufo-Addo, even in his first time, even won the first round. We talk about it, you talk about Akana MP. Then you decline President Akufo-Addo's 2020 votes by 33%. If you want to even look at it from the southern regions, you decline by 31%. The whole northern region, where you are from, you decline by 16%. And you talk about a second chance. You think it's just a renewal for showing up. Nobody is going to do that. Second chance in MPP has always been contingent on performance. Dr. Bawumia did not perform, and it's about time we bring a new candidate. That's why in the spirit of revival, we are bringing Ken. So nobody should define a presidential material for us. All these visions for the past 16 years and being in the helms of affairs. If you want to measure the feasibility of the visions, I referenced what Dr. Brian said. Let's go back to each candidate's hometown and let's see how those visions has been able to transform them. We don't need those nice messages. We need somebody who is courageous, who is bold, who is disciplined to take this country forward, and that is Ken.
Pius, you also wanted to add a few words. Just because of time, make it brief for me. Hello, Pius. Okay, have I lost him? All right. If I have, then we'll wrap up. Dr. Kia, are you still there? Okay, I've lost all of them, but I had. All right, it's good for you, I guess. Dr. Kia Mako is from the Dr. Bawumia's camp. She is a deputy communications person for the campaign, and also I had Dr. Jonathan Asante-Ochere, who is a lecturer from UCC, and also I had Pius Hajide, also from the camp of Dr. what's his name? Pius is which camp?
Brian Why no final comments?
Because I thought you. I'll give you final words.
Yeah, on the character issue, you've seen what is going on within the MPP space. Abronye, Chairman, to me, the comments, Abronye's persistent attack on Ken. Who is the ultimate beneficiary? Is that not Dr. Bawumia? Have we ever heard him call him to order? But he just came to distance himself. Oh, don't punish me for the sins of other people. Kennedy Japan will never do that. Kennedy Japan will look into Abronye's face and tell her what you are doing is destroying the party. That is the difference. So when they are talking about character, they should situate it within a proper context and know that the proper character to run this country into where we want to get to, it should be Kennedy Japan and not Dr. Bawumia.
Thank you. I thank you very much for your time. So I had quite a number of people dealing with the latest news that came from the quarters of the NPP. Kwesi Kwarteng, lawyer Kwesi Kwarteng, actually spokesperson for Kennedy Japan's campaign team, and they are also on the number 1 of the ballot paper. Dr. Brian Achampong is on number 2. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia number 3. Honorable Yawose Duchum is number 4, and Engineer Kwabena Ejay Japan is number 5. We will be following through to see the developments and also be interacting with them as and when they gear up for the election in 2026. We say thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.
Can you imagine? As that day, I think he was actually planning to have intimate with me.
As usual, it's hurting. But waiting. You know, I cannot wait to be promoted, Mom.
You know me, I get black belt, so nigga don't fuck with me. Hey. Nigga don't fuck with me.
Bro, I go fit sound you for him.
Hey.
I am not joking at all. See, protocol.
See, you sick of can never act Mr. Gentleman, Mr. Gentleman. Make no fool plus.
You can equally carry all the money in her room, and they will not touch a pinch of her hair. What's going on between you and Pasolo? You will find out when you get to the dining.
I have fallen for you down flat.
How long is it taking you to open the door? Is that a condom? No, it's chocolates.